Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that I work hard for you. My team behind the scenes that you don't see also works hard for you to do all the editing and all the animations that go into these videos. And I want you to know that this Ignition Time channel is a way for me to get the word out there about the country, about the economy, and about your money, because I think when we understand how these three factors essentially work with each other, that we can take control of our financial future. Well, I'm sorry to report that stimulus talks have actually completely broken down into complete disarray. There's complete chaos as far as stimulus talks are concerned, and we could be looking at a potential government shutdown. Yes, a potential government shutdown. I can't even believe I'm reporting this. On your screen, you'll see an article from the Washington Post, and the headline reads, "Economic relief talks descend into disarray as congressional bickering intensifies." The two sides continue to bicker. They continue to be deeply entrenched in their positions, even though we have the outliers, the ones with the good intentions, honestly, like Bernie Sanders, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, like Josh Hawley. You saw me do a video about Josh Hawley earlier on our channel. The Problem Solvers Caucus, Tom Reed, Republican from New York, Josh Gottheimer, Democrat from New Jersey. All of these individuals have set aside partisanship, set aside philosophical, set aside political priorities, and tried to put the needs of the American people first. There's so many good lawmakers on both sides. And I want you to know the reason I do this channel is, for me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. But getting back to this reporting, hopes for a $908 billion bipartisan Senate deal are fading because the Senate leadership basically said that they weren't interested in it. They said that the liability provisions and the money for state and local governments were essentially things that they would not accept. According to the Washington Post, the devolving situation came as multiple lawmakers appeared to be pursuing conflicting goals all at the same time, with little time to sort out disagreements. Keep in mind that the House is already adjourned, believe it or not, until Tuesday of next week. The House did pass a spending bill in the past 24 hours to fund the government for one more week, and the goal is to avoid a shutdown on Friday night. Now, keep in mind the Senate must pass an identical bill and have President Trump sign it to avoid a shutdown, but they're still not sure how to do that without unanimous consent as of this afternoon. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi actually said as recently as today that discussions over emergency legislation, government funding, and other important factors could stretch beyond Christmas. Yep, she said it could stretch beyond Christmas. I mean, I'm the one who's reporting all this. I'm the one processing this information. And sometimes I can't believe what I'm reporting. And keep in mind, the Labor Department announced 853,000 of our fellow Americans filed jobless claims last week, which is a big increase from the week before. This is a sign that the economy could indeed be backsliding. Keep in mind, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell also said that the Senate Republicans would not support the bipartisan Senate framework, and they're basically two contentious items: the state and local funding, as well as liability provisions, which essentially are a no-go for Senate Republicans. Now, this is what the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said today on the floor of the Senate. He reiterated his demand for a broad liability shield for businesses and institutions that are vulnerable to COVID, and he accused Democrats of, I quote, bullying small business owners and college presidents who've been pleading for these protections for months. Now, keep in mind, the liability shield that the Senate Majority Leader is talking about is intended to prevent frivolous lawsuits against colleges, against universities, against hospitals, against businesses. So that's what the Senate Majority Leader is trying to do. And he said, and I quote, "I hope our colleagues let Congress deliver more help soon. A lot of Americans simply cannot afford to wait." Now, keep in mind, Senator Bernie Sanders is expected to object to the must-pass government spending bill because he's trying to force congressional leadership to vote for another round of stimulus checks. And keep in mind, I did do another video about Josh Hawley, who's a Republican senator from Missouri, who's also pushing for this. So, unfortunately, everyone seems to be going off in different directions. I did talk earlier about the different chess pieces, about, the president, about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, about the Senate Majority Leader essentially having their own agendas, and the chess pieces keep on moving. But now you have more players, each with their own agendas, with no clear goal, with no clear consensus, no bipartisan approach to try and come to a consensus. What actually blows my mind the most is that the biggest factor initially was a top line number. The Democrats wanted 2.2 trillion, and then the White House offered 1.9 trillion. Now they're both in the $900 billion range, and they still can't agree. It's kind of ridiculous if you really think about it, because at this point in time, it should be about working out the priorities and getting it knocked out. So clearly there's a stalemate, but the question is, can they try and get some things sorted out now and make sure that there's relief to our fellow Americans, and maybe come back and sort out the other stuff like the liability shield and aid for state and local funding, state and local governments, maybe next year. Why not? Why not adopt an approach like that? You'll see a quote on your screen from Bill Hoagland, who's a senior vice president at the Bipartisan Policy Center, and he's a former Republican staff director for the Senate Budget Committee. This is what Bill Hoagland said: "From everything I can pick up, things are in a stalemate today, but the desire is still there to put something together on both sides. It's always darkest before the sun rises." So there you go. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, as you know, is very optimistic about the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden and anticipates that we'll have another bigger stimulus next year. A lot of that depends on the Georgia Senate runoff races, which I have covered extensively on my channel. So make sure you check out other videos on our channel where I talk about the Georgia Senate runoff races. But at a recent press conference, House Speaker Pelosi emphasized that President-elect Biden would soon be sworn in and vowed that lawmakers should not go home until a deal has been reached. Here's a quote from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi: "If we need more time, then we take more time. But we have to have a bill and we cannot go home without it." I would hope that it would honor the December 18th deadline, meaning the 1 week extension that has taken place from this weekend through next weekend. And then what Speaker Pelosi is saying is, hey, that new deadline, which is next weekend, is something we need to honor and pass a larger omnibus spending bill, which, by the way, is going to be a whopping $1.4 trillion. Raining money as far as the government is concerned, whereas we're haggling over $900 billion for the American people. And House Speaker Pelosi says, "I would hope that it would honor the December 18th deadline. We've been here after Christmas, you know." And now, speaking of coming back after the new year, here's a tweet on your screen from Jake Sherman over at Politico, and he's quoting Mitt Romney. And Mitt Romney said, "We've solved a whole series of elements." He's presumably referring to the ongoing work with the bipartisan Senate package, which seems to be ongoing, even though the Senate Majority Leader said it was going to be a no-go. So, I mean, are we going to see an adjustment, a tweak to the Senate bipartisan plan to fit in with what the Republican leaders want, so that they can get on board with it, so that it can pass both the House and the Senate? The short answer to that question is yes, because they're still working on it. So don't give up hope yet. But this is what Mitt Romney said: "We've solved a whole series of elements, maybe on state and local." I don't like the word maybe. Maybe has been going on for months. "The liability, we wait given the time frame until next year. So many things on the table on liability." That's what Mitt Romney said. And as if all of this wasn't dramatic enough, here's an article on your screen from Politico. The shutdown of the government is a real possibility as Rand Paul holds up the defense bill. This Senator Rand Paul is using his procedural powers to block swift passage of the government spending bill, which could make the shutdown a real possibility. The Kentucky Republican is objecting to swift passage of the annual defense policy bill, effectively forcing senators to remain in Washington, D.C. for an extra day as he filibusters the $740 billion legislation. Could we actually see this leading to a government shutdown? And keep in mind, the government needs to be funded past Friday, and this short 1 week spending bill cannot be passed before then without an agreement from all 100 senators to vote. So that's a summary, everybody, with all the dramatic things happening in DC today. I'm hoping I have more positive news for you. Please comment below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Let me know what you think. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I really appreciate you watching. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Remember, the Ignition Time channel is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. We work very hard on this channel to provide you with important information that is relevant to the country. For us, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. I want you to understand that we are all Americans first. And I think when we have the right facts, we can make the right decisions. We always, in every video, include a link to all of our resources in the description section below. All I ask, if you learn something new from this video, is please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That tells the YouTube algorithm that you found the content helpful. Participate in our community. Comment below and let us know what you think. Our community is growing, it's intelligent, it's respectful, it's bipartisan. You'll make some new friends in our community. So make sure you do that. Remember, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Get on our text message list. We'll send you breaking news and alerts You'll get important information. You can opt out of the text messages at any time. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time. So that's the message, the word ignition or with the word time, and send that message to the number 70,000. That's 70000. And then you'll get added to SMS alerts list, and you can opt out of the SMS alerts at any point in time. You can also get added to our email list. And again, you can opt out of the emails at any point in time to get breaking news and alerts from us, any important announcements from us. And so you can get on our email list by going to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. Sometimes, and we've heard about this from our viewers and subscribers, YouTube does not send out notifications as soon as we release the videos. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignitiontime. That's youtube.com/ignitiontime. And then you can visit the homepage of our channel and watch any of our videos at any point in time that you want. So please do that. You can follow us on Instagram. My Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So make sure you follow us on Instagram. You'll get exclusive news and content on our Instagram handle. Also follow us on Twitter. You'll get breaking news and alerts on Twitter. So follow us at ignition_time, which is the same handle as Instagram on Twitter. So make sure you follow us there. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to comment below. I really appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.